Okay guys, here is my attempt at giving you a step-by-step tutorial of how I did my Beyonce Formation hat. Now, the two main things that I used to make the hat I got from the Dollar Tree, and that is my foam board and my poster board. I used 2 pieces of foam board, but a quick tip is if you can find one large piece of foam board, it's going to be a little bit easier than using 2. Everything else I used was the poster board for the hat part, a ruler, some paper scissors, some measuring tape to measure my head, my hot glue gun, and some glue sticks. And I also used my X-Acto knife to cut through my foam board. Now, first thing you want to do is measure your head. My head measured to about 24 inches. Keep your head measurement in mind, and the poster board is what you're going to use to make the top hat part of the formation hat. Now, what I did to the poster board to make it sturdier is that I glued 2 pieces together, and then I glued the 2 pieces that I glued together to 2 more pieces that I glued together, just like this. And you can kind of see that here. Now, is this making sense to you? I hope it's making sense to you. But anyway, back to the poster board. I measured out 1 inch and drew that line because that's where I'm going to glue my second piece of poster board. Just like that. And once I had that on top, you glue that down to make one long piece. I'm just going through the motions of it here so you can kind of see how I did it, but that's basically what I did. Once you have that done, remember your head measurement. I said mine was 24 inches, I'm sorry, 24 inches. But I always give myself an extra inch so that I can glue once I fold it around into the circle, so I can glue it together into that inch. So my head measurement was 24. So with the extra inch, it's 25. I think I tried on my Beyonce wig with it on, so I ended up making it 26. So you're going to cut the excess off so that your poster board is exactly 26 inches. I'm sorry you can't see what I'm doing on the end of here, but I'm just drawing where I need to cut. Like, see, I had an extra inch. So you're going to cut that off. So this probably ended up being 26 inches, the poster board. So once you cut off the excess from the poster board, the next thing you're going to do is we're going to measure how tall we want the top hat to be. And I started off measuring my top hat at 6 inches. But once I cut the 6 inches, it was way too tall. So I ended up cutting an inch off to make it 5 inches. And to be honest, 5 inches was a little too tall. If I were to do it again, I'd do a 4-inch tall top hat. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to keep it at 5 inches. I added a ½ inch just to give me, some wiggle room. And you're going to go all the way across, measuring 5 inches, because you're going to cut your poster board once you have that marked all the way across. And once you have it marked all the way across, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut. And that's going to make your top hat. So cut this all the way to the end. And this is going to be the top of your hat. And this is what you fold into the circle to make the top of your hat. And that extra 1-inch marking at the end is where you're going to glue. Glue the top hat part together right there, just like that. And once you have everything glued together, just place it on your head, make sure everything fits. The next thing we're going to work on is the brim of the hat, which is why we needed the sturdier foam board. What I did was I hot glued 2 pieces of foam board together to make a larger piece of foam board. This is why I was telling you in the beginning of the video, if you could find a large piece of foam board where you won't have to glue 2 pieces together, I think that would be easier. Not that this was impossible, it's just, you know, a little more cumbersome. Now, with gluing the 2 pieces together, I had 2 20 by 30 pieces of foam board, so I think this made it into 40 by 30, if I'm thinking about that right. But anyway, so half of the foam board, where I drew the line in the middle, is 15 inches. You're going to want that as a guide, because once you put your top hat on there, like what you see I'm doing here, you're going to want it right in that axis so you can draw your circle. Like, this is not perfect, it's jank, but you're going to go back and make sure that the circle is you know, a perfect circle, so you can cut out, so you're not putting an oval on your head. You know what I'm saying? Next, what you're going to do is you're going to cut out your circle with your X-Acto knife, and then after that, it's time to measure for your brim. And I wanted a gigantic brim, so I opted for 10 inches. So I started measuring out 10 inches from the very middle all the way around. The squiggly is where I mismeasured and did 8 inches. But don't even worry about that, because when you spray paint it over, you're not going to see any of that. So next, what you're going to want to do is cut out the center with your X-Acto knife, and then you're going to cut out the brim with your X-Acto knife. Now with the center, you're going to move that and you're going to trace that circle, and you're going to cut that circle, and that's going to be the top of your hat. And we're almost at the end, guys. You're going to shimmy that in the middle, you're going to glue it, and then you're going to put the top hat on the top. And then after that, all you have left to do is spray paint your brand new hat. And that's that.